In today's video, we're going to be talking about filing of the I-140 petition. Okay, so if you haven't seen my last video, I'm going to link the video in the description box. Please do well to go see that video, okay? So let's go ahead and dive into today's video, okay? Disclaimer: I am not an immigration lawyer. I am not an immigration person. I do not work in an immigration office. I am just sharing these things based on my personal research and my personal experience. These are the things that I went through before I got to this stage. Okay, so I'm giving you based on my experience and my knowledge. Okay, and what I had researched out. Please, it might not be the same for you, so just take what I say. I would want to say with a pinch of salt, but just do your personal research, okay? So, what is I-140? What does it mean? What does I-140 mean? So, I-140 is the name of the form that you use to file the employment-based Category 3 visa. Okay, just the way we have the X160 from I-130 and the rest of them. Okay, I-140, this is a petition that is filed under, they're gonna file this petition under the United States Citizenship and Immigration System or Service, USCIS. So that is what they filed this I-140. So it's a petition. So the easiest way I could explain this is you take a petition to the court. So these agencies sign this petition and say, oh, we need people in the United States. We need nurses, registered nurses in the United States. And we are petitioning that you allow us bring in Chinaza to the United States to come and work as a nurse under our hospital or under our agency and yada yada yada. So the person who is filing this has to be an employer, has to be somebody who owns a business, has an LLC or an S corp, or just have a business that can be verified here in the United States. Okay, so that is what they file for you. You don't need to know what these details, but it's also good to know what they do for you. Okay, and when they tell you, oh, we're gonna file the I-140, you know what that means. Okay, so they're going to file this for you, and they're also going to prove to these people, to the United States government, that they are able to pay you, they have what it takes to pay you, they have what it takes to help you through what you need and the rest of that. Okay, so that is what I-140 does, and that is what they're going to do for you. That is the first thing. For them to do this, they're going to require your certifications, your documents. You're going to send that to them, and you also have to sign a document. They're going to send you the pages to sign, and you send it back to them. So this is what they call an ETA form. So that form is for under the Labor Department. They're trying to tell the Labor Department that this is who we are bringing in under the alien work visa. So they're going to bring you in. They're trying to just petition your case. The USCIS is let's say a group of body, and they're trying to petition your case and why they want to bring you into the United States. So basically that's why they filed the I-140. And now, types of I-140. There are two types of I-140. There is the regular, and then there is the premium I-140. Okay, so the regular I-140 is, they just put it, they don't fast track it, they just the normal way, the regular way. Okay, they just put it in this particular. The difference between the regular and the premium is how long they take to be processed. Okay, so the regular takes about 6 to 10 months. Some people, I've seen a couple of people earlier this year that theirs came out within 3 months, which is very, very fast. Okay, so but this is how long it takes. Typically, it takes about 6 to 10 months. Even when you Google it, you will see it takes an average of 6 to 10 months, and it costs about $700 for them to file this for you. Okay, the last time I checked, it cost about $700. And then there is the premium. The premium is like its name, premium. fast track. So they are fast tracking it for you. They're making it faster. They're pushing it up. So the premium is the regular cost plus $2,500. Okay, so it's a 700 plus $2,500. That is how much they add for it to be premium. And now, how long does a premium filing take? It takes 14 calendar days. When they say 14 calendar days, is different from 14 business days. 14 business days is different from what? 14 calendar days. So calendar days means that Saturday and Sunday are involved in your counting. Personally, for me, my I-140 came out within 9 days. Yeah, in 9 days. It was filed in July, I think July 25th, and it came out August 2nd of that same year. Okay, so I was filed premium. So you could be filed premium too, which is part of the previous video I had posted, asking part of the questions I said you should ask your employer if they're going to file a regular or premium. Okay, and this is the main reasons. How long it takes is the main reason. Okay, now there are two filing centers. There is one in Texas, the Texas USCIS, and then there is in Nebraska. These are the two places that they file your I-140 petitions. So how do you know that you were filed for in Texas, and how do you know that you were filed for in Nebraska? So the Texas, your I-140 number, your receipt number is going to have SRC, then the number. Okay, it's going to have SRC, the letter SRC in front of it. That way you know that, oh, you were filed for in Texas. And if it has LIN and the number on your receipt, it means you were filed for in Nebraska. During my own process, we found out that after your I-140 has been approved, for Texas, it took a longer time for them to transfer your case from USCIS to the NVC. If you keep following this series that I'm releasing, you would understand the meaning of these things as we move on. Okay, so it takes a longer time for them to transfer your case when it has been approved from the USCIS to the National Visa Center, which is NVC. Then for Nebraska, it takes the normal within 3 weeks, which is almost normal, or a little bit faster than normal, for them to transfer your case to the National Visa Center. So that is why you just need to have an idea where your case was filed. Okay, right now it's not exactly the same, but there is still a factor. Nebraska is quite faster than Texas. All right. And another thing you should know is outcomes of your petitions. So when they tell you, oh, we are filing an I-140 for you, or you filed your I-140, there are 4 different outcomes that could happen. Number one is that you are being approved. Congratulations, your I-140 or your case has been approved, as they would call it. Your case has been approved. And once your case is approved, you are going to get a number that is going to help you track your case down, and you're going to see when your case has been transferred to the state department, which is the National Visa Center. Okay, number 2 outcome of your I-140 would be request for further evidence, which is popularly known as RFE. Okay, so this is when the USCIS are like, we need more evidence. It might be from you, it might be from your employer. So they might be saying, if it's from you, they're like, oh, we need more evidence that shows that this particular candidate is a registered nurse. We need more evidence to show that this particular person is who you are telling us they are. So it might be your transcript. They might need you to resend your transcript. They might need you to resend your license. They might your Nigerian license or the license from your representative state or country. They might also need you to send your results or your certificate, something. But usually they tell you what they need. All right. And if it is from the employers, most times we have seen that what they need is from the employer, not from you. So it might be a financial document, it might be proof of their business, something. Usually it's not really, most times it's not from the candidate, but sometimes it is from the candidate. So you need to just follow up. Okay, that is the second outcome. The third outcome is intent to deny. So they have an intention to deny you. And when they issue this third one, they tell you why they have this intent. And it's just an intention, right? So you have the ability to change their mind. So they might tell you, oh, we are intending to deny you because this person is not who they say they are, because this person is this, or because this person is that. So they usually 100% always put in why they have that intention, or why they are leaning towards declining or denying your case. All right. And then the fourth outcome would be outright denial. They looked at your case, they looked at your employer, and they're like, nope, nope, this won't do. No, thank you. And they deny you. Okay. They always tell you why you were denied. So you can choose to reapply. I have rarely seen where people have been denied, especially nurses, but I've seen approved, I have seen requests for further evidence, and I have seen intent to deny. I think I've seen deny just once and the person reapplied. Okay, so but you just need to know these things. All right, with that, we have come to the end of this particular video. Thank you so much for watching. This is a long series of me explaining what the immigration process looks like for the registered nursing route, okay, for the EB3 visa route. So just stay on with me, look forward to my next video, and watch the rest of the videos on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by and watching, and thank you for watching to the end of this video. See you in the next one. Bye.